The Oxford University Museum of Natural History, NS4201, Assignment 001, Coleoptera, by Holly Farrington, Lauren Hewitt, Sophie Howells, and Ellie Knight-Rolfe.
During our visit to the Oxford Museum of Natural History, we investigated all of the collections and decided we would like to expand our knowledge of the taxonomic order of Coleoptera, commonly known as beetles. We chose Coleoptera based on the group's extreme diversity and interesting evolutionary history. Coleoptera is an extremely diverse group and makes up almost 1/4 of all known life forms on Earth. The oldest known Coleoptera in the fossil records are from the Permian era, around 265 million years ago. Since this time, Coleoptera have diversified into many forms. As a result, they are found in most habitats except for polar regions, the sea, and are strong interactors with their ecosystem.
The early Cretaceous was an important era in Coleoptera evolution. It has been studied that Coleoptera went through a co-evolutionary process with angiosperms in the early Cretaceous. This co-evolutionary process led to the Coleoptera developing a change in their physiology. They experienced changes in their mouth structure by developing pollen-collecting mouthparts. Coleoptera are thought to be the earliest insect pollinators of angiosperms. Modern flower-visiting beetles often possess conspicuous eyes or mouthparts, for example, as seen in the physiology in the Odimiridae and Mordelidae. The diversification of some of the most species-rich lineages of Coleoptera may have been driven by co-evolution with angiosperms. The early Cretaceous also saw the decline of archostomaton beetles, the ecological success of adaphagon beetles, and the first divergence of some major polyphagon lineages.
The order of Coleoptera progresses from the domain of Eukarya into the kingdom of Animalia, then into the phylum of Arthropoda, the class of Insecta, and finally into the order of Coleoptera. As shown by Figure 1, the order of Coleoptera further subdivides into separate families, genus, and then species. Due to the large number of Coleoptera, their classification can prove difficult, as some families contain tens of thousands of species and need to be further divided, creating subfamilies. The largest suborder of Coleoptera is Polyphaga, which constitutes 85% of all known species. We will further discuss and investigate the Molloidae family later.
Coleoptera are extremely diverse, with approximately 400,000 species, with new species being regularly discovered. Taking into consideration the possible number of undiscovered species, estimates for the total number of different Coleoptera species are as high as 100 million. However, this number is uncertain, and 1 million species is the more accepted figure. The vast species richness may be due to the increased survival of lineages and their ability to diversify into a variety of different niches. Coleoptera have diversified into a wide range of habitats, such as in foliage, underground, and in vegetation. They are also occupied almost all areas of the planet, excluding polar and marine regions. Their diversity can be illustrated through the variety of food sources, as they are adapted to many diets and all have mouthparts adapted for chewing. While some consume plant matter, such as the leaves or seeds, others eat fungi, feces, or prey on small animals.
Coleoptera have a similar basic morphology. They all share a hard exoskeleton and forewings known as elytra, and a body that is separated into three main segments: the head, the thorax, and the abdomen, which contains holes called spiracles that allow gas exchange. The forewings are hard in order to protect the delicate hindwings during activities that could damage them, such as scavenging through leaf litter or soil. 90% of Coleoptera enter a period of adult diapause. This is a phase where the Coleoptera lower their metabolic rate in order to withstand extreme environmental conditions, for example, lack of food. Due to the diversity of separate Coleoptera species, individuals can range from 0.3 mm to over 15 cm in size. Typically, Coleoptera cannot see well, so rely more heavily on their other senses. Communication can be achieved in a number of ways, by the use of chemicals such as pheromones, sounds, or visual aids such as the light produced by fireflies. Pheromones can be secreted from a gland on most Coleoptera and are used to attract a mate, which males can locate through the female's scent. Some beetles make sounds, usually scraping their mouthparts together or rubbing their legs on their bodies, while others make vibrations.
The Molloidae are known as blister beetles. The family contains 7,500 species divided into 4 subfamilies. The Molloidae family is extremely diverse, allowing them to occupy a great range of habitats, and they are especially prevalent in North America. The life cycle of the Molloidae is hypermetamorphic. Molloidae larvae are parasitoids, which typically use bees as the hosts. Their defining characteristic is their defensive secretion of a blistering agent called cantharidin, which is contained in the hemolymph, a fluid found in most invertebrates. Cantharidin is a poisonous chemical that causes blistering of the skin. It has medical applications where it can be used to remove warts.
An ecological guild is defined as any group of species that exploit the same resources or that exploit different resources in similar ways. It is not necessary for the species within a guild to occupy the same or adjacent ecological niches. The ambrosia beetles are part of the weevil subfamilies Scolytinae and Platypodinae. They live in nutritional symbiosis with ambrosia fungi. They excavate tunnels in dead and ailing trees and excavate fungal gardens within them, which is their sole source of nutrition. After landing on a tree, the ambrosia beetle excavates a tunnel into which it releases spores of the fungal symbiont. The fungus penetrates the plant's xylem tissue and extracts the nutrients. It concentrates them near the surface of the beetle gallery. The beetles then utilize those nutrients.
In conclusion, making up 1/4 of all known life forms on Earth today, Coleoptera are an extremely diverse group, which has allowed them to occupy a large range of ecological niches and spread worldwide. Coleoptera have diversified greatly since the Permian era into 400,000 species that we see today. Their relevance in their ecosystem is extensive, as they are strong interactors with other organisms. Without beetles, the ecosystem we see today would be vastly different due to their impact on early Cretaceous angiosperms, which shaped the environments we now know. The first pollination of angiosperms by Coleoptera allowed angiosperms and future plants to spread and evolve. Thank you for watching.